Nintendo has and always will be one of my favorite publishers in the industry. So many franchises that I love. Mario, Zelda, my favorite franchise of all time, along with so many more. Just this year, we're going to be celebrating the anniversaries for a ton of these. We just celebrated the anniversary for Mario, and I was looking at the release date calendar for upcoming games to check out what we're going to cover and what we're going to be checking out, and I came to a realization, and that is that Nintendo is about to absolutely kill it in Q1 2021. The beginning of the year is theirs. We have Hitman coming up, and Hitman's not my thing, so I don't really care to check that out. But outside of that, it's a little bit of a barren wasteland for games that I care about. Square Enix has Outriders, and that looks kind of cool-ish. We'll see how that ends up being. But Nintendo is serving up some heat, and I am super excited. And we're here to talk about Nintendo's Q1 2021 and just how they're absolutely killing it. Before we get into it, though, make sure to smash that like button. It helps out a ton. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and follow over on Twitch and Twitter. We stream 3 times a week, every Monday, Thursday, and Friday, and we generally have a really good time over there, and your support means the world. With that out of the way, though, let's talk about Nintendo's Q1, and we are going to start off with these release dates, man. Kicking it all off, we have Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on February 12th. Man, that trailer was super cool, and then the next day they dropped an overview trailer that was even longer than the trailer that they had teased before. That was a little bit weird, but Nintendo just kind of likes things weird, like my uncle at Christmas when he has a little bit too much to drink. But regardless, the game looks really fun. I've never played this, so for me, this is a brand new 3D Mario that I can play online and play with my friends that don't live near me. Me and my girlfriend are probably going to play through it a little bit, but outside of that, I'm excited to just jump in there with my good friend Zach, the viewers over on Twitch, the regulars, you know who you are. It'd be awesome to be able to play this game together, and maybe this is just a small taste of what Nintendo has coming up in the future, because hypothetically, if Nintendo gets on the ball, every freaking 3D Mario game should be online co-op. If it has a local co-op, it should have online co-op. Nintendo, it's 2021. Get with the times, man. It's kind of like going to your grandma's house and she's like super excited and she hasn't seen you in a long time. She says, here, don't spend it all in one place, and she gives you like $1. That's how out of touch grandparents are sometimes. Hopefully your grandparents are better than that. Nintendo, man, everything you do needs to be online. It's 2021, like I mentioned. We just gotta keep it rolling, man. So I hope that this is a small taste of what is coming up. For Nintendo, it seems that going big is very important. It started off with the Gigantamax and Pokemon, and now we see Bowser and Mario going huge and kind of Super Saiyan. It reminds me of a setup for a Dragon Ball fight of some kind. We see the golden, like, big ape where Goku goes. Excuse me, I don't know the correct terminology. Don't hate me, Dragon Ball fans. But that's very reminiscent of what we see at the end of Bowser's Fury. The game seems exciting. You're able to just jump in right at the beginning. Even though I've never played the base game, I'm just gonna jump into Bowser's Fury because that looks great. But what if you've already played Mario and you want something completely new? If you're a fan of JRPGs, Bravely Default 2 drops February 26th, and this promises to be more of what the Bravely fan wants, right? Because maybe Bravely 2nd wasn't for you, but Bravely Default 2 just 100% seems like it is everything that we wanted. There is a demo available now on eShop if you're on the fence a little bit. If this can come close to what Octopath Traveler did, like that game did way better than anyone thought it was going to do. And people have been waiting for this one for a while. There was a delay or two along the way. People love the original Bravely Default, so I'm assuming that this super traditional, for better or for worse, JRPG is going to scratch that itch for a lot of people. And I love how different all of these games are, the ones that I'm talking about here. Bravely Default and Super Mario 3D World are nothing alike. They scratch a completely different itch for a completely different type of gamer. And that's something that Nintendo's always been really good at. They are great at giving a little something for everyone. This is probably a little bit more for a niche audience, even though the game sells generally well and Octopath Traveler did really well. And I feel like if they can get close to the success that Octopath had, they are going to be happy over there, both at Nintendo and Square. I never played Bravely Second. I played the original Bravely Default, so I am sort of excited to check this one out, but for now, Mario is on my mind. That's what I want. I'm currently playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake, and if I finish that by the time this comes out, it'll be good to just have another JRPG that I can just go into and just keep the ball rolling. But maybe JRPGs aren't your thing. Maybe you like action a little bit more. Well, how about some giant monsters and giant weapons and just all types of awesomeness? And that is what Monster Hunter Rise, the exclusive Switch Monster Hunter game that we've wanted since the launch of the Switch 4 years ago, is finally here. It is a good mix of traditional Monster Hunter, the Pocket Monster Hunter, with what Monster Hunter World did, and Monster Hunter World brought in a whole new audience, including myself. I was not a fan of Monster Hunter. I remember one E3 specifically, they like sat us down. It was me, Zach, and Zach's brother, and somebody else. They sat us down to play, I forgot what Monster Hunter game it was, and like none of us knew what the hell was going on. It was just like weird. You run around a whole bunch and you sit there and hit an enemy for 30 minutes, and it just didn't resonate with us at the time. World brought Zach and I into the Monster Hunter world, and from then on we are like super excited for this, and we're fans of the franchise now. Now, I don't claim to be an expert by any means, but I've had so much fun with the demo, playing the different classes, and since there isn't a lot of hunts there, the demo has gotten a little bit repetitive, but that's more my fault because I think it's so fun that I just keep going back and back and back. It's like, I keep talking about grandma, but it's like grandma put a little something special in the cookies for you to make you want more and more and more. Grandma, don't stop trying to put drugs in my cookies. I don't like drugs. But, you know, grandma was nefarious. Grandma's no longer with us, but if I did have a grandma, maybe she'd put something special in the cookies for me to want over and over and over and over and more and more and more. And that's what's going on with this Monster Hunter World demo. I just want to keep playing. I don't want to stop. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I don't necessarily grasp everything quite yet. The demo kind of just like throws you in there. It says, bah, go do your thing. Kind of like when grandma kicks you out of the house because you've been bothering her for too long. I don't know what's with me and my grandma, or grandmas in general, during this video, but regardless, the demo throws you out there and it doesn't do a lot of explaining, and I feel like the main game will do way more of that. I can't wait to try to play this multiplayer with friends. That is probably going to be a really good time. The new mechanics are actually super cool. I love everything that's been included. I love like swinging up above an enemy, falling down, striking him, and then at one point trying to just wrangle him in and ride him and fight beast against a beast in an epic battle like you've never seen before. It's honestly really, really cool, and this is probably going to be the first Monster Hunter game that I like fully dive into. I played World very slowly. I played a lot of it, but I got to go back maybe and try to finish it before Rise, just so that I can be more prepared. I'm super excited for this one. And I said that Nintendo's going to have a big Q1 first 4 months of the year, and the last one comes in right at the end of April with new Pokemon Snap. They just announced the release date today. They just announced a new gameplay trailer today. This is what happens if you take my nostalgia for Pokemon during the N64 era and you put it in a Switch cartridge and you shove it in the Switch, and boom, this is what you get. You sprinkle in a little bit of new Pokemon and some glowing stuff, because glowing is a thing in the game, and this is exactly what I remember Pokemon Snap being like. Now, clearly, this isn't what it looked like back then, but in my head, in my twisted, demented head, this is what it always was, and I can't wait for more. It maybe isn't so great that they're not changing a ton from what we know, right? All we've seen is a trailer that's under 2 minutes. Maybe there are way more changes that we don't know about yet, but as of now, it's very similar, and that would be a bad thing if we had other Pokemon Snap games, but since it's been so freaking long since we played one, I kind of think that it's okay to just do what you did back then and do it now and don't change too much. I think people will actually really, really love that. It's going to be a big year for Pokemon. I'm sure that this isn't the last that we'll see of the franchise throughout the year, but this is a very strong way to kick off the year. In the first 4 months of the calendar year, we get Mario and Pokemon. Come on. two of Nintendo's biggest franchises in one 4-month period. And yeah, like they're not maybe the biggest versions of said franchise. This isn't a sequel to Odyssey, and this isn't a sequel to Sword and Shield. This isn't a new generation of Pokemon, but we just got that stuff. So getting these games that are more like a B tier title, even though they're still pretty A title, in comparison to those, it's honestly really cool. Nintendo has to figure out a way to make the $60 worth it for Pokemon Snap, because it is a full price game, so I can't wait to see what type of content they put in there. Nintendo has become a fan of doing these like big overview trailers before launching, so that's what I'm waiting for with Pokemon Snap. I want to learn more about it. There's a rumored Pokemon Direct sometime in February. Maybe we hear more about it then. 10-year-old Gabe would have freaking loved this lineup. You get to play a Mario game that I've never played before. You get yourself a JRPG, you get Monster Hunter, and you get Pokemon Snap. Dude, this is my childhood right here. So much of it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Nintendo is freaking killing it for Q1. I feel it in my bones that this is going to be such a good year for the Nintendo Switch. Yes, PS5, Xbox Series X, way more powerful. There may or may not be a Switch Pro coming at some point, but we have to wait and see. In the meantime, we have a lot of fun games to play on our current Switch. Thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and you like what we are doing around here. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I appreciate you. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Adios.